Housing. Law also has a lot to say about your housing. We each need a secure place to live. Shelter is such a basic need that in law it approaches a civil right. Even the homeless or others in need of emergency shelter have certain legal protections, with which the first section below deals. Law also provides substantial protection to renters, which the second section below describes. Law also closely regulates home purchases and sales, the rights, obligations, and advantages of homeowners, the mortgages that homeowners use to finance home purchases, the foreclosure of those mortgages, and tax advantages and obligations of homeowners. Home insurance raises other legal issues and protections. A home is the largest asset that most of us purchase in a lifetime. Laws addressing home purchase, sale, financing, security, taxation, and protection mean a lot to us. Consider below these and other legal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities your housing implicates. Rental. Law gives you substantial support when renting your housing. State laws closely regulate the landlord/tenant relationship. Rental laws address a landlord's charging, holding, and returning security deposits, giving adequate notice before eviction, securing tenant personal property when evicting, and charging for cleaning the apartment after tenancy terminates. Rental laws require landlords to maintain apartments in safe conditions, with smoke alarms and deadbolt door locks, and habitable conditions with working plumbing, heating, and electricity. Rental laws also require landlords to ensure tenants' quiet enjoyment of the premises by abating noise, odors, pests, drug dealing, prostitution, and other disruptive conditions and activities. Law may permit you to withhold or escrow that part of your rent, representing the lost value of uninhabitable parts of your apartment. Rental laws also prohibit race, sex, and religious discrimination in renting, and may prohibit landlords from banning unmarried couples or families with children. Outside of these statutory protections, the lease determines legal rights and obligations, including rent, the duration of tenancy, the right to have pets, and what access you may have to common areas and amenities, like pools, exercise rooms, and tennis or basketball courts. Read your lease before signing. Consult a qualified legal representative when suspecting violation of your rights as a tenant, or when having a dispute with your landlord over the terms and conditions of your tenancy. Purchase. Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions many of us ever make. Law offers you substantial protections when buying a home, especially when you know your legal rights. A seller advertising a home must not misrepresent its condition. A buyer who reasonably relies on a seller's knowing misrepresentations as to hidden conditions may recover the attendant loss. Some states require sellers to complete a disclosure statement disclosing faults. Buyers also routinely include a home inspection contingency in the purchase contract to be able to revoke the contract if discovering a material defect that the seller refuses to address. Buyers also often include a financing contingency in the sale contract to ensure the availability of a mortgage commitment. The purchase contract should also include the form of the deed, the title insurance obligation, pre-closing walkthrough inspection, and the closing date. If contractor inspection or walkthrough inspection reveal material defects, then negotiations over price reductions may ensue. Contracts often include a contingency for attorney review. With the help of legal counsel, buyers should also inspect the title insurance commitment for exclusions to be sure the property is free from encumbrances. Federal and state laws also protect buyers from sellers unwilling to sell because of race, sex, religious, or similar discrimination. Mortgage. Law also says a lot about how you finance your home. Few buy a first home without borrowing money to pay for it. Banks lend money for home purchases only by taking a mortgage on the home as security for loan repayment. Federal and state laws govern mortgages. For example, your mortgage application must accurately represent your income, assets, and debts, or you may have committed federal and state crimes. The lender must likewise accurately represent to you the terms of your loan, including adjustable interest rates, balloon payments, late fees, and other terms that may harm or disadvantage you later. Banks that fail to disclose material terms may violate laws and rules against predatory lending. Banks that refuse to lend to certain borrowers may face regulatory sanctions and liability for racially discriminatory practices. The law of mortgages further deals with the note and mortgage terms. A mortgage grants the lender control of the property on the borrower's default, as the next section addresses. Note terms should include the interest rate, whether the rate is fixed or adjustable, the period over which you must repay the loan, the resulting monthly payment, whether you must carry mortgage insurance, and other terms. Approach mortgage transactions with caution. You are sharing with the lender control over your home. Foreclosure. Mortgages give lenders the right to foreclose on your home in the event of your default. To foreclose means to begin a process to remove you from the home and sell the home to pay as much of the remaining mortgage balance as possible. Federal and state laws closely regulate mortgage foreclosures. Some states require lenders to foreclose only through a court proceeding, while other states permit lenders to foreclose without going to court. In either case, the lender must give you proper notice of your default to give you a chance to dispute default, bring your balance current, or seek replacement financing to keep your home. If you do not wish to keep the home and have no equity in it, then you may be able to provide the bank with your deed to the home instead of going through foreclosure. Foreclosure affects your future ability to obtain credit. The outcome of foreclosure typically depends on whether the home is worth more than the mortgage balance. Homeowners whose homes are worth less than their mortgage balance may face a deficiency balance and personal liability after the home's foreclosure and sale. Federal, state, and lender programs address and discourage mortgage foreclosures. You may qualify for deferred payments, reductions in payments, or reductions in your mortgage balance under those programs. Consult a qualified representative if you fall behind or expect to fall behind in payments. Insurance. Your home is a significant financial asset that you should be protecting with homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance typically protects you against damage to the home from fire, lightning, wind, hail, or other natural or artificial accident or occurrence. Homeowners coverage may cover repair or replacement or pay the value of the loss. Homeowners coverage also typically includes repair or replacement of the home's contents up to a certain value. Proving what you lost in a fire can be a significant challenge. Consider video recording everything you own in a quick annual tour of your home. Your homeowner's coverage may also pay for temporary housing during your home's repair. State laws regulate the insurance industry closely to ensure the protection for which you bargained. Some of those laws have to do with requiring insurance companies to maintain adequate reserves so that they are financially able to pay you when you suffer insured losses. Other provisions may protect you against unfair or hidden policy terms and exclusions. When you apply for a homeowner's policy, be sure to make accurate and complete disclosures. False material disclosures, particularly those affecting the insurer's risk, may void the policy. Notify the insurer promptly in writing if you intend to operate a business in your home, install a wood-burning stove, store chemicals, or conduct any other activity that increases the insurer's risk or that the insurance application asked you to disclose. Consult a qualified legal representative in the event of any question over insurance coverage. Enjoyment. Law also grants you certain rights and privileges as the owner of your home. Single-family homeowners usually own in fee simple, providing full rights to use, control, alter, and improve the premises while excluding others. By contrast, condominium owners share limited interests in the whole, while having exclusive access to their part, without the unilateral right to alter or improve. Your right to exclude others from your home means that you may pursue a civil action for ejection or criminal charges for trespass against those who enter without your permission or other legal authority, whether or not they cause any damage. State nuisance laws give you a right of civil action to stop others from interfering with your use and enjoyment of your home because of noise, odor, light, smoke, and similar offenses. Others may have easement rights, particularly to maintain utilities, but also possibly to cross your property to access other properties. Easements may arise by continuous adverse use, such as when others cross your property for an extended period along a defined path. You may even lose ownership to parts of your property if a neighbor or another builds a structure, driveway, or fence on your property and maintains it there for an extended time. Zoning laws and building codes may restrict your ability to improve your property in the manner that you desire. Consult a qualified legal representative if you have any dispute over your ownership, control, use, enjoyment, or improvement of your home. Sale. The law also closely regulates the sale of your home. When you list your home for sale with a real estate agent, the agent owes you the duties under the listing agreement, just as you owe the agent the duties and percentage fee under the same agreement. To prospective buyers, you owe the duty not to misrepresent your home's condition. State law may also require that you complete a seller's disclosure statement. Misrepresentations or omissions from the disclosure statement may lead to your civil liability to the buyer. When you enter into a sale agreement with a buyer, read the agreement carefully to ensure that you agree with all terms. Be sure that the sale price will satisfy all mortgages, commissions, taxes, and other costs of sale. Be sure that you have the full right to sell and do not share that right with separated or former spouses, relatives, land contract holders, or others who must approve your sale and may claim an interest in your sale proceeds. And determine whether you will owe capital gains tax on the sale. Consult a qualified representative over any sales questions.